And welcome back to ABC-7 at 4. As businesses in the borderland begin to reopen, the big question is, when will employees begin to return? Joining me now to discuss some best practices that companies should consider is Rick Cabrera. He's a senior account executive in employee benefits with Hub International and a former ABC-7 anchor. Rick, you're rocking the Grizzly Adams look there. Is that your quarantine beard?
This is I don't work at Channel 7. Now I can grow a beard. They'll let me. So, Hub doesn't have the same restrictions that I felt when I was at 7. I'm kidding, of course, but I always wanted to grow beards, and I grow one whenever I can. And certainly working from home for the last 8 weeks now, in my case, it certainly makes you think about things like not having to shave.
There you go.
So that's
All right,
why I'm here.
let's talk a little bit about some of the guidelines that business owners should think about. Probably first and foremost, will any of the staff continue to work at home?
I think that's really the key, right? Because when these conversations started coming with my clients about a month ago, that's what led to the article in the Inc. Because I started thinking about what do business owners and what advice can we give them? What strategies can we share? So Hub actually created a e-business back to business playbook. And then I wrote the article for the Inc. because these are all ideas we're kicking around. And you're right, the first option should be work from home. There's a couple of reasons. Obviously, for safety, you don't have to provide them with PPE or cleaning supplies like you would. You have to worry about desks being too close. And think about all the people at home that have kids to care for, because daycares aren't open yet unless you're an essential worker. So there's a lot to take in place. But without a doubt, the first key should be, can I get them to work from home? And then if not, and you're going to send them back to the office, then you got to make sure you're communicating with those employees. Let them understand they're going to be tested when they walk in. What will the test entail? What do they need to provide? What kind of PPE will you provide as the business owner? So the list goes on and on. But the key is to get out ahead of it and really start communicating. Maybe even create a task force in your office to discuss these issues.
I guess this next question that's raised, I don't know if it's considered a kind of a joke to some people or not, but what about hazard pay?
Yeah, hazard pay is an option for those that don't want to come back to work, or you're going to make them come back to work. Then you can always give them a little stipend, a little extra money, and say, hey, we need you here. You're an essential part of our business. And there is talk of doing hazard pay. That really is an option. If not, because of the Families First Coronavirus Relief Act, you can give them 2 weeks of paid leave if they need that because they're dealing with someone that has a COVID issue, or they've got an issue with a child, or they themselves have some medical conditions, some underlying conditions that make it worth their while. Again, I just want to go back to the fact there is going to be lawsuits involved here. Don't be surprised. There is going to be some lawsuits. So the key for an employer is to really get out in front of it and create a task force or a concept, a book, an agenda, communicate that to their employees, clients, and customers so that there's not any pushback and they have guidelines that are set and they're not being discriminatory in any way.
All right, last question here, and this one's really industry specific. What about allowing clients to revisit your offices?
That's something you're going to have to decide. Encourage Zoom meetings like we're doing right now whenever possible. There's all kinds of great options out there. But I think the key there is communication. So you know who your clients are, you know who your customers are. If in any way possible, send them out the notification. The thing I want to talk about too is there's so many finite little details, Mark. When you start thinking about, let's just say we're going to do a COVID rapid test, okay? Get results in like 10 minutes, or you're just going to do temperature checks. Well, who's going to take that? Who's going to handle that information? Employees need to be clocked in to get in line for that test. The line could be long while you're waiting on those tests. And then if they test positive, what is the procedure? Because you don't want to put a scarlet letter on their chest, right? Because they have a high temperature, they failed the rapid test. So what is that procedure? So I think all those things come into play, and you've got to really think through all the different strategies and be prepared, because there is going to be some one-on-one individual situations that you have to take on, and you need to be considerate of the employees. In all cases, think it through, stagger shifts if you can, think about how the testing will do, and let them know and communicate it clearly. Create guidelines and communicate it clearly.
And we'll have more questions and answers in an article on our website, kvia.com, which we'll be posting after the show this afternoon. Rick Cabrera from Hub International, thanks for joining us. Take care. Stay safe, my friend.
Hey, Mark, say hi to everyone back at the office for me there at the station.
You can count on that. Will do. Thanks, sir.